Let's talk about mortgages, those delightful financial instruments designed to make you question every life decision that led you to this point. Specifically, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage, a product so ubiquitous, it's practically become the American dream's cosigner. But what if I told you this dream could easily turn into a financial nightmare, saddling you with decades of debt and interest payments that would make your eyes water faster than a mortgage broker at a closing? Over the next few chapters, we'll expose the hidden costs lurking beneath those affordable monthly payments, explore the potential risks that no one seems to want to talk about, and most importantly, discuss some alternative options that just might save your sanity and your bank account. So, buckle up and get ready to dive deep into the world of 30-year mortgages. You might just find the insights you need to make a more informed decision about your financial future. Now, the siren song of a 30-year mortgage is alluring, I'll grant you that. The monthly payments are lower, making homeownership seem attainable, almost reasonable. But here's the kicker. You're stretching out that debt over 3 decades like a never-ending episode of a home improvement show where the only thing being renovated is your dwindling bank balance. And all that time, the interest payments are racking up, quietly but relentlessly, like a horde of tiny accountants slowly draining your savings. For example, on a $400,000 loan at 6% interest, you'd end up paying over $430,000 in interest alone over 30 years. That's basically buying the house twice. And no, the second one doesn't even come with a housewarming gift. So, while it may seem affordable now, the long-term costs can be staggering. Now, let's talk about a little something called negative equity, a phrase that strikes fear into the hearts of homeowners everywhere. It essentially means you owe more on your mortgage than your house is currently worth. Think of it as being stuck in a real estate version of Stranger Things, but instead of fighting demogorgons, you're battling a depreciating asset and a sinking feeling in your stomach. And guess what makes the risk of negative equity even higher? You guessed it, our old friend, the 30-year mortgage. See, with a longer loan term, it takes longer to build equity, leaving you more vulnerable to market fluctuations. One minute you're riding high on your home ownership pony, the next you're stuck in the upside down of debt, praying for a swift and painless return to the real world. Sadly, for some homeowners, that escape never comes. But with careful planning and a bit of luck, you might just find your way back to positive equity. Okay, so we've talked about how 30-year mortgages can feel deceptively affordable and how they can increase your risk of ending up underwater on your loan. But there's another insidious side effect to these mortgages that no one really talks about: opportunity cost. Now, I know what you're thinking. John, please, not another economics lecture. But stick with me because this is important. Opportunity cost is simply the idea that every dollar you spend on one thing is a dollar you can't spend on something else. So, when you're funneling a huge chunk of your income into a 30-year mortgage, that's money you can't invest in your retirement, your kids' education, or frankly, just enjoying your life a little bit. Think of it like this. That extra interest you're paying over 30 years, it could be a down payment on a second home in Tuscany, where you're sipping wine and never thinking about mortgage rates again. So, next time you think about a 30-year mortgage, remember the hidden costs and the opportunities you might be missing out on. Let's be honest, folks. Carrying around a massive debt for 3 decades can take a toll on your mental health. It's like having a grumpy house guest who never leaves, constantly reminding you how much you owe them. This is the psychological burden of a 30-year mortgage. Studies have shown a clear link between debt and stress, anxiety, and even depression. And it makes sense, right? That constant pressure to make payments, the fear of interest rates rising, the knowledge that you're essentially tethered to this debt for the foreseeable future, it weighs on you. It's like trying to enjoy a relaxing bath while simultaneously being crushed by a mortgage-shaped elephant. And let's not forget the constant countdown to the next payment, a never-ending cycle that can feel suffocating. Alright, so I know what you're thinking. John, you've thoroughly depressed me with all this talk about debt and opportunity cost. But fear not, dear viewers, because there are alternatives. Shorter-term mortgages like 15-year or 20-year options exist, and they can save you a boatload of money in the long run. Yes, the monthly payments will be higher. But remember all that money you'll save on interest? That's money going back into your pocket, not lining the pockets of the bank. Plus, you'll be mortgage-free much sooner, which means more financial freedom and a lot less stress. It's like ripping off a giant mortgage-shaped Band-Aid. Sure, it might sting a bit at first, but the relief you'll feel afterward is immeasurable. And don't forget, time flies when you're saving money. All right, listen up, future homeowners. Before you even about signing on the dotted line for a 30-year mortgage, remember this. Knowledge is power. And in this case, knowledge could save you tens of thousands of dollars. Don't just blindly trust the first mortgage broker who throws a low monthly payment at you like some kind of enchanted mortgage goblin. Shop around, compare rates, and for goodness sake, read the fine print. That document is not your enemy. It's a roadmap to financial responsibility. And trust me, you don't want to get lost on the road to homeownership. It's a long and winding road paved with confusing acronyms and enough paperwork to make a rainforest weep. But with a little effort and a lot of research, you can navigate the mortgage maze and come out on top. So do your homework, ask questions, and remember, just because everyone else is doing something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Take the time to consult with a financial advisor if needed, and make sure you fully understand the terms and conditions. With the right knowledge and preparation, you can confidently sign that mortgage contract and step into your new home with peace of mind. Look, I get it. The idea of being shackled to a mortgage payment for 3 decades might seem as appealing as a root canal performed by a bear wearing oven mitts. But here's the good news. There are alternatives. Shorter-term mortgages, like 15-year or 20-year options, might seem intimidating with their higher monthly payments. But think of it this way. You're basically ripping off the debt Band-Aid faster. Sure, it might sting a bit at first, but you'll be mortgage-free sooner and save a boatload of money on interest payments in the long run. It's like choosing to eat your vegetables now so you can enjoy a guilt-free dessert buffet later. And who doesn't love a dessert buffet? Nobody, that's who. So consider your options and make a choice that works best for you. So, there you have it. The often overlooked, slightly uncomfortable truth about 30-year mortgages. We've exposed the hidden costs, the potential risks, and the psychological toll these long-term loans can have. But remember, knowledge is power. And now that you're armed with this information, you can make a more informed decision about your own home ownership journey. Don't let the allure of a seemingly low monthly payment blind you to the bigger picture. Consider your options, explore alternatives, and choose the path that aligns best with your financial goals and sanity. Because at the end of the day, it's your money, your life, and your chance to avoid a financial pit of despair. Make the choice that brings you peace and security.